So, I'm going to be doing a review on the Imperial TIE Fighter. So, this set released in January of 2021 for a retail price of $45, and this set retired in December of 2023. But you can still pick it up for about the retail price. And this has set number 75300, 3 minifigures, 432 pieces, and an age rating of 8+. So our first figure is just a basic Imperial Stormtrooper. I mean, it's a fine minifigure. The printing on his torso and legs are okay. They're nothing special, really. But I'm still not the biggest fan of these newer helmets. I just don't think they look as good as the Rogue One style helmets. And plus, with these ones, the head can't actually turn, really. So that is really annoying. But the helmet is actually dual molded. And this is his back print. And if you're curious, this is his face print underneath. We also get an Imperial protocol droid named Annihilate, or Annihilate. The printing on his torso and legs are fine, but the lines are very thick, so it almost makes them feel a bit outdated. But you can see some nice wiring on his chest. And the back print is okay, there are some wires also. And he does actually have this pretty unique molded headpiece. It definitely reminds me of an insect. Otherwise, I mean, it's a fine minifigure. There's not really too much to talk about. And our final figure is, of course, an Imperial TIE Pilot. And it's a fine minifigure. Printing on his torso and legs are fine. I do like the tubing that goes up to his helmet, but I definitely wish that it was a physical two-piece. Kind of like the First Order TIE Pilots. And his leg printing is okay, but it is pretty simple. And he has a very simple back print. And there is, of course, the pretty big gap at the back of the helmet, which just doesn't look that good, really. But the printing on his helmet does look pretty good. There are some nice silver stripes and some Imperial logos. And if you're curious, this is his face print underneath. Overall, this is a fine minifigure selection, I guess. None of the figures are bad, particularly. They just aren't really that exciting. But usually with most minifigure selections in TIE Fighters, they're not really the most interesting thing. There has, of course, been a couple cases, but generally, minifigures in TIE Fighters just aren't that exciting, really. And this has to be the pinnacle of that. Up the cockpit. The whole cockpit area does look very nice. I feel like they managed to capture the round shape okay. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect, because Lego bricks notably are not very round, but I felt like they captured the shaping pretty well. And the windshield design is okay. I feel like it does look pretty good, but the newer TIE Intercepts windshield definitely looks a lot better. Something funny is at the top, there is of course the printed dish piece, but in all of the promotional images, box art, and even instructions, they place this thing the wrong way. It's supposed to be like this. And sure, that is a very easy fix. I just find it funny how LEGO messed that up. And the back does look okay. There are the little red thrusts, but it doesn't look nearly as good as the front. And there are 2 spring-loaded shooters right there. And they're finally in the accurate green color, because in universe, the TIE Fighter's blasters are green. But technically, also, the cannons, where they come out of, is supposed to be red. So it is kind of a trade-off. And you can, of course, bring down the windshield and open the top up. And I do like how this part pulled up too, because in a lot of TIE Fighters, there is just a awkward beam right there. And the interior looks okay. I'm not the biggest fan of those random tech beams, but overall, it's okay. And there actually isn't any sort of bricks or even the little thing that goes in between the minifigure's legs. It's just all tile. And you can, of course, put in your TIE pellets right there, but they're not really attached to anything. And I kind of wish there was some sort of actual control panel. There are those things, I guess, which is fine. And you can, of course, close that and close that. And you can see them a bit inside. But now for the wings. The design of the wings definitely do look okay. I do like how they integrated tiles and normal plates. I do like it when they do that. And there is, of course, the gray border all around it with the little lines. And they do look okay. And they do have a very nice printed piece right there. And the detailing in the middle is very nice. And obviously, it is the exact same on the other side. But definitely, something really annoying is right here. Because they used the dark gray ball joint right there, which looks very out of place. It just doesn't match, and LEGO didn't bother recoloring it at all. And a lot of people think they should, but I don't think they should have done that exactly. What they should have done is used this hinge piece. Because first off, the coloring is accurate. I feel like it just looks better, because I'm also not the biggest fan of those open studs. And plus, they use those exact pieces on other parts of the builds. So I don't understand why they didn't just use that. And it's not even like LEGO needed this piece to have a bit of extra space, because they are essentially the exact same size. So that is really annoying. And the inside of the wings do look okay. They don't look as good as the outside. And the wings are actually just attached by a couple of Technic pins, 3 to be exact. But they are actually very well attached. They're not really going to be falling off when you're swooshing it around. And now, of course, for the swooshability test. Obviously, I would say to hold it right here at the back. And I mean, you can shake it around a lot, and the wings are not going to be falling off. And I mean, it is very swooshable. And the wings are actually very sturdy because you can actually just hold it by the wing. I wouldn't recommend that because that can happen, but still, you can pick it up by the wings. I just wouldn't recommend you shake it like that. But should you pick up this set? I mean, if you have been eyeing TIE Fighter for a while, I would definitely say go for this one. Because while there is a newer TIE Fighter out, I just don't think it looks as good. I'm not a huge fan of the whole windshield design. But this one is a pretty good design. It is a bit smaller, but that is okay. And like I said, you can still pick it up for about the retail price. But if you have a bit of extra money to spend, obviously go for the 2018 Solo one. But overall, I would give the set about a 7 out of 10.